All right.
I hit the record button.
All right, I'm recording. I've been recording.
Get last night I finished Jojo Part 4.
Oh, fuck.
I binge watched the fuck out of it. I've been late for work all week because of it.
Wait, seriously? You probably shouldn't have done all that.
Well, I'm done. I'm done Part 4.
Oh, that's good. I love part 4.
Even though we weren't on that show yet.
What? Oh,
Yeah,
Mongolian Chop Squad?
Yeah, I'm watching that right now, but I'm also like I watched all Part 4. At
Okay.
first it was like, oh, I have so much to say.
It was such a page turner, wasn't it?
It was such a what?
Did you just... Are we doing the podcast now? Is this what this is?
Yes. Because I wanted to surprise you that I watched it.
That is the worst possible way to surprise me on something. Because what... Like, I'm not ready to do a podcast right now.
Uh-oh.
Whatever. I guess you could just use this intro as our, like, fucking the intro to the podcast for when we do shoot it.
You know, if there's like a visual cue, it's like, are we doing the podcast right now? And then it goes to be continued.
Exactly. That'd be a good one.
All right, so right off the bat, I thought it was a cool opening, like first shot. It's like, oh, there's a hand.
Yeah.
What does it all mean?
They did that for the anime only. That wasn't in the manga.
Well, it worked.
Yeah. Originally, the entire thing with Kira Yoshikage just comes out of nowhere. There's no setup for it in the manga.
Dude, I got you what
So-
you want for Christmas.
God, I'm recording. Jesus. My brother just
brother's
walked
like,
in with a copy of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare on PC and was like, look what I got you for Christmas.
And he get pissed off at him.
It's like, yeah.
Okay,
But he didn't really
so-
get it for me. He just found it in like the back somewhere. I was like, neat.
Okay, so, I didn't like it at first,
Yeah.
and then later on, I was like, okay, this is actually pretty cool. And in fact, I think I like it better than Stardust.
Yeah, that's normal. I still think that Dio's World is the greatest depiction of superhero fighting, not superhero, battle with superpowers. But fucking Another One Bites the Dust is like a really great storyline. Even though
we'll
like
get into that in a second.
yeah, that's such a cool part. But it's not really a fight, so I would still say Dio's World is better. It's a fight.
Well, I did notice that Jotaro's frame seemed a lot smaller.
Who's his frame?
Like
Oh,
his shoulders
yeah,
were not as broad.
Yeah. That's I don't know why they did that. It's weird.
At first I was like, oh wow, there's like not much build up for Kira, and at least in like Stardust, it took them like forever.
Yeah.
And I felt like there was a lot more problems. And I noticed, like, as the series goes on, and I pointed this out during Stardust, they stopped killing the bad guys.
Oh. Yeah, kind of.
They're retired, and it's like, oh.
I hope they. I like it when they kill people more.
Like when they killed that middle schooler.
Yeah, that was awesome.
He just blew up.
My favorite part was when fucking Rohan punched a kid in the face.
I can see why he gets his own spin-off. Especially, I noticed that during July 15th.
I've never seen anything about the spinoff, and I don't like it.
You don't like what you didn't see. Okay.
Yeah. I don't like it because, like, it kind of, like, leads people on about Jojo. I don't think it's, like, a good, like, thing based entirely on like fucking bullshit that I didn't see, so I haven't seen it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, the reason why I think it's bad is actually because uh, they didn't animate episode 1 first. They animated like episode 5, and they're gonna do it like Haruhi style or something.
That's crazy.
I don't know why they would do that, but that's how they're doing it.
There must be something crazy to it. It must be some sort of kind of like a braid situation where they don't give you level 1 first.
Okay, so I never played Braid. I always hated it.
Oh my gosh.
But this one is different. The reason why I hated it was before Braid, every game on Xbox Live Arcade was like either $4 for a small game or $10 for like the big meaty game. And then the guy who made Braid was like, "No, my game's worth $12." And that's all it took for everyone to be like, "Well, my game's worth $12." And then it became really difficult to like buy games on Xbox Live Arcade after that. So that's why I hate that game.
I liked how in part 4 the editing was crazy. They did like every transition from shot to shot was just nuts. I don't know how to explain it. It was just weird, nuts, and that's how they did it.
Yeah.
I don't know about because like I had episodes at first 1 to like 22.
Yeah.
And I thought that was the whole series, and I'm like, oh, okay, only 22 episodes. This is a shorter season.
Oh, is that what you were
remember
describing earlier? I think I remember you like mentioning that, but you didn't say what series it was.
Yeah. And so then, like, I saw clips last year of the Highway Go-Go.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that scene never came up. And I saw clips of the backstand, and I was like, oh wow, those scenes didn't come up. Like they must be in like the last episode or something. And I get to episode 22, I'm like, well, those scenes never happened.
Yeah.
Something that did crazy happened before I even started watching the series at all. I watched a scene from the live action part 4.
Yeah.
And
which scene?
It was when I don't remember what stand it was, but the police officer grandpa, he dies.
Oh, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Oh wait, no,
Well,
Aqua Ring.
Aqua Ring. So the grandpa dies, and Jojo can't bring him back.
Yeah.
And in my mind, going to the series, I'm like, oh, that's Joseph Joestar. And then when I got to that moment, I was like, then where's Joseph?
Yeah.
And they showed Joseph, and I got really sad because I was like, I knew this guy when he was like 20, and now he's just this old man.
Yeah. So.
And I thought actually he would end up dying, but he didn't.
Yeah, he didn't. But like, something people have brought up, Joseph's stand is the ability to take a spirit photo of somebody so they could track them down. And in this series where they have to hunt down a serial killer, they never use that.
Why is that?
I don't know. You can come up with a fan. Like, the only fan theory I could think of is that he was only able to use it on Dio because he had Jonathan's body, but Kira doesn't have any connection to the Jojos. That's my only fan theory for why he wasn't able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's never really said directly why he didn't do it.
I don't know if because episodes 1 to 22 didn't have any intros or outros on my files.
Yeah. Oh,
that
when
sucks.
I hate when they do that. That's stupid.
But then the second half, I actually had those.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was strange that they went with Savage Garden of all things.
Oh yeah, I really liked the song they used for the ending choice. It was really good.
What happened to your audio there?
Oh,
there you go.
I have to like hold my mic up. Is there any way we can like just stop this podcast so I can like get my other mic set up?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm gonna hit stop on my thing.
Okay. All right. Oh. All right. Yep.
All right, now I'm ready to do some podcast action once again.
So
I've hit record, and I'm ready to die.
I've already started recording.
Okay, so earlier, in between me getting my microphone ready, we started to bring up like how they started to get slimmer in part four.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that because I really like the machismo.
I I like I like both styles. I think they're both really cool, but in the manga version for part four, when you read
Hmm.
it, like initially everybody is like super ridiculously buff, and like it's like this very gradual change as they just like start to slim down, and it's
They changed their
like
diet.
it's kind of like this like it's one thing that the anime didn't adapt, and I get why they wouldn't because they wanted it to be more like consistent, but it's something that's like really really funny about part four, and like one of the reasons why it's kind of better to read the manga, I think, just for this part and only for like that one little thing. Because like Okuyasu like starts out as like this giant mean ass looking motherfucker, and then like he just becomes like the nicest looking. He becomes this very nice looking guy.
Yeah. I I really they also did this in part three. I really like the episode where they play games. So like when Jojo is playing dice against Rohan, that was like really fun and exciting.
Oh yeah, I love that
And
part.
I feel like when they have those episodes, so like with Darby's brother, Rohan, when they have like when they're playing games of some sort, those are the most tense and exciting, with the exception of the climax of the series.
Hmm.
So like when Dio's World and Another One Bites the Dust, like those points are the best points in the show for me
Yeah.
because I feel like the stakes are ridiculous.
The one thing I wish, like, the one disappointment I have with part four, a lot of people describe it as like this slice of life type storyline,
No.
but it's still like fight after fight. I wish it was like more just like them just hanging out.
Oh, okay. I liked how the whole murder mystery aspect. In fact, I felt like the whole theme was just a horror story. Like they would fight a guy, and it's like, oh, this is terrible and terrifying situation. They beat him, and they become friends, and they do that every time.
Yeah. I
And I
think
thought it was like,
like
oh, they stay with
the
that theme.
oh yeah, I was thinking like the main theme of like part four was like old wives' tales, like urban legends that you hear around town, and
Yeah,
like
that's exactly it.
their way of like showing like all these urban legends, they're all from stand users.
Um, I didn't care much for the blonde Kira arc. When he got to Black Kira, I thought it was awesome how he's like trying to like stay undercover, but really it's not that hard to do. But he
Oh
has
yeah,
troubles with it.
you know, Kira just wants an ordinary life. I love that part.
Yeah, apart aside from killing. Um,
And then like his son is like stalking his mom and his dad, and has a bed and has a camera in their bedroom to watch them fuck.
yeah, he even points it out as like hasn't interested for the dad in some time. I
It's great.
I thought it was nuts. Like when we get to white haired Kira, um, the son's body is gone, and I was like, oh, did he like? Can he bring back the dead? And then he even mentions it like 2 days later. He's like, you know, I killed you last night, and I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, I the first time I got to that part, I didn't really catch that he killed him. Like, I understood that he was like super stressed, but I thought it was just because they were closing in on him. Like, upon second rewatch, I was like, oh, oh shit, he killed him.
I know that was crazy.
Yeah. So like, this is one thing I'm wondering. So while watching the series, at any point when it was shown Josuke's backstory about the guy who saved him in the snow, did you get it in your head that somehow that was going to be Josuke sent back in time from the future?
Yes, and I totally forgot about that until now.
Like, it's why is it that so many people think that? Like, I thought
Because
it too when it first came out, and I think it was because like I read Harry Potter before, which did that.
oh no, because it looks exact like it literally looks exactly like Josuke now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's the
Yeah.
hairstyle, but it's like that's also how you dress, and also I didn't see his face, and so that really adds to it.
And like you don't see his face, and on top of that, you don't hear his voice. Like they specifically make it so like he only speaks through text, which makes it sound like they're really trying to hide like who this guy is. But
Maybe
it really is just some random dude who
I don't know.
saved him, so he based his entire appearance off of him. Because like the one thing everyone's always brings up is like, well, it's just a story that like, not even Josuke. Josuke's not even the one telling the story. It's like Hayato, not Hayato. Shit,
Koichi,
Koichi. How did I got the wrong name. I got them all mixed up.
you got all the characters mixed up.
Yeah,
Um, I like it was really weird because I'm like you barely see Jotaro or Joseph in this season.
yeah.
I felt like at
But
least Jotaro would have a bigger role.
I do like that it let them pass on the torch to like the new Jojo instead of Jotaro just like
Hmm.
jumping in and like, hey, it's me, it's the Jotaro show, all starring Jotaro.
I know. And then he's like, "Oh, I can only do the world for a second." I'm like, "You had 10 years. You could have practiced."
Yeah, well, he didn't have time. He was too busy like writing his thesis.
He had time. He can stop time
How can you stop time if you don't make time?
because he
Huh?
is eliminating time.
It's really funny. Like, there's this video somebody made where it's like, what if Jotaro's time stop was in real time, and like it shows the final part when he's about to run up to Kira, and then he stops to like talk about everybody, and then it like unfreezes time, and then Kira activates Place the Best.
I
Good vid, funny vid.
I
Check
really
it
did
out.
like. I liked how July 15th was set up. I thought that was really exciting in terms of like, oh shit, what's going on? I don't understand, and then you find out about the papers.
Oh yeah,
Um, but I also really liked the the finale fight with Kira because
yeah.
it's very much like, how are you going to solve this? Like every moment that passes, like makes the situation worse.
Hmm.
And I noticed that Kira's like, "Oh, this is your fourth time this day, isn't it?" But I think that actually was his third time.
Yeah, like
So I think Kira's not giving him enough credit. He's thinking like, "Oh, it took you 4 days to get here," but really it only took him 3.
yeah, like I think like that's one thing that I initially thought was a plot hole in part four. But now that after rewatching the scene several times, I think I get it now.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
underestimating him.
like the thing that I thought was a plot hole was so bites the dust. He can't use it on himself. When he uses it on somebody, he's unaware of it happening unless they show signs that they know that it's already happened.
Yeah,
So how does he know what bites the dust does?
because he did it before when he brought his son back to life. He went
Yeah,
back 1
but
hour.
like when he brings them back, when he sends them back in time, he's like in the back in time version of himself doesn't know what happened until somebody tells him.
I
And
don't
like
know.
so upon rewatching it though, I think the answer is he didn't use it on his dead body son. What actually happened is if you rewatch the scene with the arrow, it doesn't just go up into his arm. Like it keeps going up through his neck into his chin, and then like as soon as it pierces his brain, that's when he like it activates, and then he gets sent back in time.
That must
And
be
I
it.
think that's
I thought it came
why,
out of his neck.
yeah, like it comes out of his shoulder into his neck, and then it pierces his brain, and that's what
Okay.
activates it.
Either
Yeah,
way, that was it was rad because it's like, oh, I have to somehow prevent all this, but things are gonna keep happening no matter what I do.
yeah.
And then I kept thinking about
Also,
Happy Death
like,
Day and how there's a sequel.
oh yeah. The Happy Death Day. Everyone says it ripped off Groundhog Day. It ripped off Bites the Dust. Let's be honest here. That's gonna be the big plot twist in Happy Death Day 2. It's just Kira Yoshikage using Bites the Dust.
You know what? Happy Death Day 2? It's
Yeah.
actually Jojo Part 2.
Oh shit. The
They're gonna
Pillar
fight
Men.
Dio in this
They've
one. The
awakened.
Pillar, they've awakened. That's gonna be like the slogan for it. The Pillar Men have awakened.
Uh, the time has come, and so have I. A laugh last because he came to die. Uh,
Make a fake trailer for Happy Death Day 2, but make it seem like it's a JoJo episode.
oh my god. That'd be pretty good.
That'd be pretty cool. Maybe
Um,
I'll do that tonight.
yeah. So, let's talk about the guys who aren't Kira Yoshikage. That, like, one picture of the guy who folds everybody into paper, there
Yep.
was, like, before I ever got into JoJo, there was this one image everybody kept posting from the manga of, like, when Josuke's looking at a piece of paper and then on the other side of it is a gun pointing at his face. And, like, it was like the funniest out of context image. Like
That's really funny.
people would just post that and be like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and just like, wow, gotta find out what's going on with this piece of paper.
You know what? I'm gonna find that.
It's like on Tumblr and stuff. Like
Jotaro.
it was like years ago. Well, it was
gun
Josuke.
paper?
Josuke paper gun manga.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? I found it here.
So who's your favorite non-Kira
Um,
antagonist in Part 4?
Rohan. I liked him. He was nuts.
Which one?
Rohan, the artist.
Oh, Rohan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty great. I like how like he stuck around and like he wasn't really like they beat him up, but he didn't really become friends with everybody. He still kind of like hated them.
Yeah. He was just a jerk.
I kind of like shit. I asked a question that I don't know the answer to now I really had to think about it.
What is it?
Who my favorite villain in the part was? I
Oh.
think it was shit. I want to say Yukako just because like I really like the part when she like kidnaps Koichi and she's like being super creepy and like hanging outside the house and like he like tries to escape and she's like right at the window.
That was very misery, I think.
Yeah, I love that. I love that part. Um,
I wonder, like, I noticed, like, when it came to Cinderella and the cook, they weren't actually bad guys. They were just people that were there,
yeah.
and you never really saw them again.
Well, Cinderella got killed
That
by
is true.
fucking Koshikage.
I noticed, because you mentioned this during Stardust, how I should have seen the intros when it came to Dio's world.
Yes.
Um, I saw that like they changed the intro for Bites the Dust, and I was like,
Oh
oh
yeah.
shit!
That was fucking rad as fuck.
But then they like for the final episode they didn't because I'm like, oh yeah, because it's not active anymore.
Well, actually, it is changed, but like only slightly. It's more like it's returned back to time, but
Mhm.
like there's a bunch of slight changes. Like in the original version of the opening, like at the end when he's about to hit the button, they don't turn around. But in this version, when he does, they all do turn around and they see him. As
I
in, like they're onto his scheme now. Also, there's like
hmm.
sound effects throughout the opening, which is
Yeah, I noticed
typical
that
what they do in
too.
the last episode.
Well, I noticed they also did that during Battle Tendency. Like some episodes would have sound effects and some didn't.
Yeah, it was like the last episode of each part. They put sound effects over the opening. That's like the thing they've been doing. That's why I was like bummed when you said you weren't watching the openings for Stardust Crusaders, because like, oh my god, how could you? I love the sound effects.
I know, like when I only watched the first half, I was like, "Wait, we don't know who the baby's mom is yet." And then I finished the second half. We still don't know.
Well, here's the important thing: is that the baby ate shit. No wait, fuck. That's part three. Never mind.
No, yeah,
Uh,
it's a different baby.
this
This
baby
is it.
is invisible and now
Yeah,
belongs to the Joestars.
I was gonna say like when they put on the sunglasses, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm just watching The Hangover."
What if the baby's mother is also invisible?
Wait, hang on. If they put on sunglasses, would this be Hangover 4?
This is the sequel to Honey, I Blew Up the Kid to Honey, I Made Our Kid into the Hollow Man.
Honey, I made our kid invisible.
Honey, I
This is
lost
now
our
you.
kid.
This is now you see me 3.
This is Now You Don't.
Somebody said that they totally missed the opportunity. They should have just called the first one "Now You See Me" and the sequel "Now You Don't."
Yeah, like it's the
But they
dumb. Why
didn't.
would you not do that? You have the perfect setup for a
But
sequel
it's like
name, and you don't.
"Now You See Me
It's the
2," and it's like
it's the
you
dumb.
just you fucked it.
Yeah, like I don't know who the fuck thought that was a good idea. They should be fired. Whoever you are, you're fired.
You fucking suck.
You, you have to turn your badge into me and your gun. You're off the
In your
force.
game, you're off the force.
Um, best Jojo stand go.
Oh, I was just gonna say Joseph because actually didn't have his favorite stand.
Oh, Hermit Purple.
No, I was just saying best JoJo.
Oh, um, let's see. Like, there's more I wanted to talk about part four. Oh, now that you're in depth into every stand as a song name,
Mm-hmm.
what song name would you make your stand? Now that
I
you're
already told
fully
you
aware of
this.
the like exact naming schemes of how it works.
You just pick a song name.
Yeah.
You don't. It doesn't actually have to mean anything.
In a way they kind of do, but like it's
How?
weird. Like you have to like jump through 20 hoops to explain why the song name matches the stand.
Then tell me.
Which stand did you need an answer for?
Any of them. Give me one.
Oh, give you a song name?
Because
I don't know
you're
your
like
music
I
tastes.
no. I don't No, I don't understand why it's like, oh, this
What?
stand has this name.
Okay. Killer Queen. Dynamite with the laser beam.
Oh,
Boom.
explosives.
It,
Okay.
it, it blows things up.
Well, shit.
And also, the song is about a high class prostitute, while Kira Yoshikage is somebody who totally enjoys women but doesn't enjoy uh, women. In this,
Well,
he likes fucking, but he doesn't like loving. He just likes the hands. So it's kind of like there's a detachment there from like, yeah, he has an affection for something, but he doesn't like what it's connected to.
what about
Similar to a prostitute, kind of, but not really. I guess there's more you can go into that with, but
um I
uh,
wasn't sure about the whole ghost situation.
which ghost?
Well, Remy, the
Oh,
dog, the dad in the photo,
yeah.
because he wasn't a stand
So
user, but
actually, the dad in the photo was a stand user. His stand is the photograph. His
oh,
stand's name is Adam Hartfather.
I thought he was just a ghost.
No, he wasn't actually dead until he
Oh,
met fucking Josuke.
then he was
Now he
fucking
is.
dead. And about like don't look behind you, like that thing was kind of weird. That was kind of out of place.
So how that works is It's similar to the Anubis stand in that like it doesn't need its original stand user to keep going, and it probably killed its original stand user because it like just jumps onto the next one.
Oh, not the back one, the one in the alley, the things that drag you away,
Oh, that. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was all about. That was just another
and
urban legend thing, I guess. I don't
the
think
alien,
that's like completely non-stand related at all.
and the whole alien situation.
Uh, that's yeah. Though it's been a while since like I've taken a look back at it. Does he ever see a stand
No,
like the alien guy, or does he
he
just
doesn't.
like pretend like
Because
he or
Josuke
act
is
like he
like, hey,
doesn't?
you can't. Can you see this stand? And he's like, what are you talking about?
Oh, yeah, maybe he is an alien. Shit.
But that would make sense if they have ghosts and aliens in the same town. I'm like, okay, you're keeping with a theme here, and it also goes with the urban stories.
Yeah, it's a crazy, noisy, bizarre town.
I was expecting the guy on the radio to be some sort of like the major villain or something.
I don't think the guy in the radio was even in the manga. I think they just threw that in.
Well,
Or
I
like
kept
he's
thinking I
probably
was
like mentioned once.
okay because every time he would come on like every episode, and I was like, I bet he's a killer or something.
Yeah, that's so the one thing I didn't like about part four's art direction was that the sky is always yellow and the grass is always purple. And like it's I guess I just read it's because I read the manga first, but I just always imagined everything as like having regular colors. And like I get that JoJo goes for like weird colors sometimes, but it feels like with part 4 it was weird colors all the time. Like there was no regular like it would go from weird to weirder instead of like normal to weird.
hmm
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I didn't mind it. I thought it was
I
okay.
guess. It's just like odd to me.
There was something else about Kira. I don't remember what it was though.
Uh
Oh, I wonder if like the people that made Death Note were inspired by this show, because not only in the name and how he's a villain, but there were certain shots, and I was like, oh fuck, this is exactly like in Death Note.
yeah, it kind of is. I think Death Note like the primary influence was like in terms of like the characters was like Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty, but the story follows Moriarty instead of Sherlock. And that
I never
was
thought
like
of that.
the idea. I think the creator said something like that. But it's been like 10 years since I've read Death Note, so I might be misremembering.
I don't know what else there is to JoJo.
So in JoJo Part 4, I think that what Kira Yoshikage represents is the old, like, uh, I can only relate to it in terms of like American, but like, you know how we have our baby boomer generation?
Yeah,
I think he kind of like represents that, but for like whatever the Japanese version of that is, where he kind of
I
has this older. I guess like he's kind of like a representation of, uh, right. I can't find the right word for it. I guess toxic masculinity, but like that's hard to like define right now because there's a lot of stuff. But like kind of in that general area where like he's kind of has this attitude where like he's entitled to these things. Like he wants to live an ordinary life and also be a serial killer. Like he has this like power fantasy thing going on where it's like he acts like a nice guy. Like he acts how society says he should act and thinks that because he does that that he's a better person than everyone around him when in reality he's like the worst person in the world because he's like a fucking serial killer.
how is that toxic masculinity?
You know how like see that's why I didn't want to say that word because like it's fucking hard to define.
Well,
and I don't
also
have the definition on
he doesn't
hand.
act like that. Thinking your thoughts are different from acting them out.
Well, he does act it out though. He kills them.
I guess in private, so it's not exactly toxic if no one really knows about it, especially when
But
they're
yeah, but
dead.
that's like kind of part of what happens in toxic masculinity. A lot of like the fucked up shit guys do is like behind closed doors.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And like there's not a lot of like it's like all this emphasis on but again, toxic masculinity wasn't even the right word to begin with.
Oh, so you
It
fucked it. Okay.
it could have been, but like it's something in that general direction where it's kind of like these traits that are upheld by society to be like good are actually bad.
Well,
Uh
no, because everyone is like that.
Not everybody is a serial killer.
No, I meant like how he's supposed to act. Everyone is acting like that.
Except for Jisuke and his gang, who are like just all doing wacky, goofy teenager shit.
Yeah, because that's being a teenager. That's not being
Yeah,
33 years old.
exactly. But he's like, it's more so in that he acts like this, but it's also he has this fetishistic thing towards women, where he like, it's like, well, you know, I like hands, kind of like, I don't know. This isn't very well formed in my head. This was like something I was just thinking. I haven't put it all together. But like he's the older generation, Josuke's the younger generation.
So
Shit's
would
going
that
on.
be the same? When that couldn't you translate that over to Jotaro? He's about the same age.
No,
Why not?
Jotaro doesn't fit into like the. He's not a very. He doesn't fit into society.
Well, yeah, he's also a really flat character, I think.
I would disagree with that.
Really?
Jotaro is fucking the best,
No.
and I will not stand for any
He has no
Jotaro hate.
personality whatsoever.
He does have a personality.
Barely shows.
Jotaro is very Jotaro.
Being stoic is not a personality trait. It's a
Yes, it
flaw.
is. It is a great personality flaw.
It is the worst.
He is the best JoJo.
That's not true.
Jotaro is so good.
I noticed if you compare battle tendency to um Diamond,
Part 3, you'll
very
realize Part 3 is better because Jotaro's in it.
fuck off. um, the tone from season to season is drastically different.
Yeah. That's why I don't like calling them seasons. I call them parts.
Well, same thing.
Part
I am
4
looking.
also is kind of like wildly crazy in tone. Like,
Yeah.
the first episode starts with like this incredibly like super graphic, like the violence is like so far up there, and then it just kind of like goes into like, it's not so bad.
Well, because they normalize it.
Like it's not even they normalize it. It's just like, it becomes more sillier, less like horrific.
Well, no, there's still times like when Harvest dies. He gets his
Yeah,
face
but
kicked
like,
in a bunch and then he explodes.
I just mean like the part 4 opens with like, we got to track down the serial killer. Oh, what did he do? He kidnapped little boys, cut their penises off, and raped them, and then murdered them. And
I
it's
completely
like,
forgot about that.
it's like that's really intense to start this part off with. Considering like everyone always thinks of this part as like, oh, this is the nicest part of JoJo, and like that's episode 1.
I felt like part 2 was maybe the nicest because Joseph was just having a crazy time.
Yeah, but like there's a lot of like there's a lot of intensity. The Pillar
And
Men killed a lot of people.
in parts 1 and
And there's
part
Nazis.
2, their expressions are very hard.
Yeah.
But then, like, partway through, like, in part 3 and mostly in part 4, their expressions are really softened.
Yeah. I think that's also like part 1 and 2 were animated together, and then with part 3 and 4, like part 3 was animated like 3 years later after part 2, and then part 4 was like a year after part 3 was done. So it's kind of like in that like zone.
So I actually am kind of looking forward to part 5, but I'm gonna wait till it's over.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be the
So,
greatest.
but that's
Oh
not gonna be
shit.
for like another year, is it?
Well, it started, so they said it's only gonna be 39 episodes, so in about 30 weeks it'll be done.
It's a long time.
I don't know how you like calculate that. How many weeks are in a year?
52.
Oh, it's gonna be like half a year. Oh shit, that's not a lot of weeks. Years go by too fast. They need to fix that.
Well, we still got to watch back. I actually just got past the point where I stopped watching like 4 years ago.
Oh yeah, I need to finish Beck as well. Maybe I'll get to it tomorrow because I got work off.
Oh,
Yay!
nice.
All right, everybody who watching this podcast, uh,
Well, this is supposed to come out after Beck, but I wanted to record it while I still had it fresh.
okay, so we've leapt through time. We decided to put JoJo Part 4 into your mind space. Welcome to a world beyond sight and sound.
Welcome to
For
the
your
podcast.
consideration, here's two guys who like to watch JoJo
Well, we don't
before
even
they
really
watch
have the
Beck.
audio. We don't really even have the audio for part 3.
Yeah, we might have to re-record Part 3. So this episode was actually recorded before the Part 3 episode. So that's if we redo Part 3. I don't know.
I don't think
I
we
do want
will.
to defend Jotaro more from all of your
Um,
lies and slander.
I I like I like Joseph and Josuke better.
That's fine.
I
I
don't think
love
anyone gives a
Jotaro.
sh.
He is the
I don't think
coolest.
anyone. Does anyone care about Jonathan?
Yes,
Oh,
I love Jonathan. But like initially I hated Jonathan
well, I think because
because I
his
thought he
story
was
he wasn't
boring.
funny.
But now like looking back, he's great. I think like what makes him great is just like comparing him to everybody that comes after him kind of like solidifies him as like really like kind of a very interesting like starting point. Like all of his like descendants become all these like rowdy wild people.
Yeah, I told you about that chart I saw where it shows like every bad thing, like the one bad thing every descendant did. So like Joseph cheated on his wife, and then someone else, I think they like stole money or something.
Yeah, Josuke like he stole money with the fucking lottery scam.
Oh yeah.
But like the meanest thing Jotaro did was he didn't pay for bad service at a restaurant and he talked back to a teacher.
Well, hang on, I'm gonna find that chart actually.
And like
Jonathan.
he listed these things as like the most despicable things a man can do.
Let's see if I can find it.
And that's why Jotaro is a great character. Because he's nice. He's a good guy.
Oh man, I want to find that thing.
I like when he says good grief, like Charlie Brown.
Oh, dude, is Charlie Brown a JoJo reference?
I wonder though, like, how did they localize that in the dub? Does he say good grief, give me a break, or like fuck off? Because I'm for fuck off, but
I think he says "good grief."
good, we got Charlie Brown in the house.
I don't think I can find that thing that person posted.
All right. So they're in the middle of the street. Dio pulls out a football, puts it in the middle of the street, and says, "Hey Jotaro, try to kick this."
Oh my gosh. I think I found it. No, that's not
Yeah.
right. Oh man.
Also, I still haven't put together an idea for like how we should be starting these podcasts.
You think we should have like some sort of intro or something?
Yeah, not like a theme song, but like just we introduce ourselves. You know how the McElroys do their thing, where it's like, "Hey, I'm Travis, the Biggie brother, and I'm Middle brother, and I'm Betty brother." What would what should our call signs be?
Like on a radio?
Yeah, yeah. Like
Or like
how do we introduce ourselves?
this isn't a CB radio.
Like I've already got Kevin the Kill, which is like already the coolest fucking name in the world.
I don't know about that.
Hey, this is a high level brand that I'm putting together. Follow
I
me on
think you should.
Twitter. I make really stupid tweets.
You have been also referred to by Garrett himself, Kyoku.
That was back when
Um,
I used the name Kyoku.
and he was like, "Oh, that one character from Ghost in the Shell."
I
And
also went by the name Hiro Yui XD
they also called
because
you
I
Kevin the
was
Clit Killer.
that was because Brian misread my name. But it's a good way of thing. I think I'm losing my voice because of all the cold.
Oh no.
I might be developing a cough, and my throat's starting to get sore. I'm gonna drink this water.
I think we said all we could about Jojo.
There's more.
Oh, is
I
there?
like. Yeah. Okay. So, did you know?
Fascinating. Please tell me more.
Uh, okay. So, when fucking Kira shoots out sheer heart attack, which has no weakness. Uh, it says Kochio Miyu, which I had to look up, and I think it says, "Hey, look over here."
Yep, that's what it.
Is
That's what
that
they
what
say
the
in the
subs say?
subtitles.
All
Yep.
right.
I don't know why they say that though.
Okay. So I had to look that up, and it was difficult because like everyone fucking does the fucking Kochio Miyu meh, and it like becomes hard to find. Okay, so what does it mean
Look over here.
exactly? So
That's not a fact. Like that's as literal as a fact as you can get.
yep,
It's like saying
there you
the
go.
sky is green. Like yeah, that's a
Did
fact.
you know that Darth Vader is the man behind the mask?
Good night, everyone.
I don't know if I told that story on the podcast.
Oh my gosh. I don't think we don't have a Star Wars podcast,
All
unfortunately.
right, we'll do a special Star Wars episode when the next episode comes out, where we'll do all 9 movies
No.
of the main movies, and we'll go through them one by one. And then
Maybe
when
you
we
should
get
just
to,
save it for when we get to Gundam Thunderbolt.
there's no masked men in Gundam Thunderbolt. I don't think
There
the
were
Char's not in that
helmets.
one.
How about Persona?
I don't. I'm not gonna watch Persona. I'm gonna play the game. And then and wait, what if I played
That's
the
not
game?
that's
I
not the review.
hold on. What if I played the game and you watched the anime, and then we compared and contrasted the characters?
Because I don't want to watch another anime. I want to watch this Russian movie you told me about.
Oh, oh, I forgot. Yeah, it wasn't a
You
Russian
just
movie.
want...
I don't think.
I think it is.
I don't. I don't remember the language they speak. It wasn't English. Um, I thought it was Italian.
I don't know. I didn't see
Fuck.
it yet.
It's made by that one guy. All you film heads out there, you know all about Persona. You know all about that guy and all of his
Well,
crazy ass movies.
we still gotta watch Beck, Paranoia Agent, Train Spotting 1 and 2, and then Persona.
I think it might be German actually.
And then we have Akira, The Perfect Insider, Straight Jacket, Gundam Thunderbolt, Lily Cat, Jojo 5, Ergo
Fuck.
Proxy, Daily Lives of High School Boys, Boiler Room, Black Rain, and Nana.
There's a lot of fucking anime out there.
There's a
There's a lot
lot
of
of
There's a lot of people out there.
Any other JoJo
Okay,
thoughts?
so Superfly.
The trap one, yeah.
Where like you go inside the thing and the thing happens.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they changed the ending of how that fight ends for the anime because I remember it differently in the manga. Viewers at home post pictures of the manga in the comments and send them to Kathleen Knorr on Twitter. You're on Twitter,
I
right?
don't have I don't have a Twitter.
Okay, send them to at Kathleen Knorr on Twitter.
I don't
Flood his
have a
inbox.
Twitter.
Just keep sending. Just hashtag cats out of the bag.
I don't have a Twitter.
Yeah, just keep sending those.
Someone else is
Uh,
gonna get them.
and if anybody's really good at screenwriting, you want to write a movie for me?
It's called bitch.
It's called Bitch, and I'm at my wits' end trying to fucking write it at work, and it's just a frustrating experience. I got 2 words down and then had to stop because the phone would not stop ringing.
Why do people call you so much?
Because I'm the front desk receptionist at a nursing home. They want to
But the
get
question
transferred
is,
somewhere else, but then like they want to get transferred, and then another call comes on the line, so I got to hurry up with them, and then I go to the next call, and it's a fucking automated message, and then as I'm hanging up, another call comes on, and while I'm taking that call, someone's like, "Hey, can you page this person?" So I finish that call, and as I hang up that call to page, like another call comes up, so when I pick up the phone, instead of paging, I picked up the next call, and then I had to fucking deal with that shit. It's
well then,
frustrating. I guess I could put them on hold too, but in the moment, it just like it's all this on top of. I just want to write this one sentence,
also you're trying to do something at work which you're not supposed to be doing.
but like I'm supposed to have tons of downtime. It seems to be only when I like whenever like I don't want to write and I'm just like procrastinating. Those are the quietest days. But when it's like, all right, I've got the energy in me. I'm gonna write. That's when I can never get anything done. Like there's
I
no
used to be
time to
like
do anything.
I've been like that for the past year. I'll be at whatever job and I'm like I just want to go home and do this, and I go home and I do something else.
Yeah. Well, that's because like I think it's like when I get home, it's like I'm so tired out, I don't want to do stuff. Like I
Mm-hmm.
just want to like chill out and relax.
Mm-hmm.
And then like when I have days off, it's like, well, I never get days off, so I just want to use these days to chill out and relax. I really need to start like using my days off to actually like do professional stuff.
I was gonna ask, did you get a game day shirt?
Uh, the game day shirt I got was I just got the sweater and I was wearing it like for a week because it was
Oh,
cold.
you didn't get the T-shirt.
I didn't get the T-shirt. The T-shirt I
Ah.
got was the anime trash swag one with the Genji Ito face.
Oh, you should have got the actual game days T-shirt.
Maybe I have the pin, and I have the. I also have the Decay long sleeve T-shirt.
Oh.
So
Next year, get the official T-shirt and wear it at Disneyland.
maybe, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll do that. Oh shit! Can't wait for next year. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna go to
I'm def.
karaoke, and you guys are all gonna be fucking sorry. You're all gonna like. You're gonna all gonna cry when you realize how much of a great singing voice I have. That I've never practiced ever, so I don't even know how good it's gonna be. It's gonna be the greatest thing you've ever heard. Babies will be born from my voice.
Whoa, it's mostly dudes there too. So how does that work?
Hey, there's a hole at the end of that dick.
Oh fuck,
It's gonna hurt,
it's
but
gonna
it's gonna
hurt.
happen.
It's gonna happen. Okay.
It's not gonna be a positive experience for everyone, but it's gonna make the world a better place.
Okay. Any other JoJo thoughts? We're going up on an hour now.
Okay, so my next JoJo thought is, did you notice how like in part 3 Jotaro and Dio have the same type of stand, while in
Well,
part 4 Josuke and Kira have opposite stands. One fixes everything, one destroys everything.
whoa.
Think about that.
Then how about when it comes to Joseph and I guess he didn't have a stand, did he?
Yeah, like it was just in that one the opposite was like one is the power of the sun, one is the power of darkness trying to become the power of the sun.
It's weird. In my second half of the dubs, the subs, I mean, the subtitles were a bit different for the names on what they were saying. So when they would say like Killer Queen, they would like in the subtitles would say like a different name.
Oh, yeah. So part 4 was the first one to get picked up like and go mainstream. So like
Yeah.
there wasn't that much of a chance for fan subs to get in first because like Funimation beat them to the subs. But with the Funimation subs, they changed the names of the stands because they're all musical references, and that's like there's one stand that was a reference to a Prince song like years ago, and then Prince immediately went into like this legal lawsuit battle with Jojo because you can't sell an action figure called Gold Experience. That's my thing, so they can't use the names of songs. Like there was a legal precedent set against it.
Yeah. So that's when I found out that the part 3 witch, she was supposed to be Enya because like
Yeah.
her name was Enyaba, but in the subtitles it's like, oh, that witch Enya, and I was like, what? And I
Oh,
realized this in part 4 of all things.
yeah. Like, but also like Enyaba is it's kind of like Enya Bachan, like you know when they
But
call someone an
I
old
didn't.
lady Bachan.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Especially since I was watching part 3 dubbed.
Oh shit. Yeah, part 3 like they all fuck it all up with crazy stuff. They don't even call him Vanilla Ice. They have to call him Cool Ice.
Yeah, it's weird.
But Dio's fine. Dio is still allowed to be called Dio.
Well, I think because he's been dead before that even happened, didn't it?
Prince is dead, and they still won't change the fucking name.
Well, his estate, right?
But Dio was still alive during part 1, 2, and 3. Even the anime. He only died like recently.
No, I thought he died like over 10 years ago.
No, because like he was in that fucking game, Brutal Legend, and then like he died like 6 years after that. And
Was
Brutal
he?
Legend was like 2008, so I think he died in
Oh,
2014. I'm not exactly
no,
sure. Let's double
he died in
check.
he died in 2010.
Oh shit, that's right. I just realized he wasn't in Brutal Legend. They were saving him for the sequel, and then he died. And then they never made the sequel. Sad day. Shit.
On Wikipedia, it doesn't say anything about him being in JoJo.
Yeah, it was like 8 years ago. Well, I don't need Wikipedia to tell me that Dio was in JoJo because I've seen JoJo. Dio's there. I know. I've seen it. I wonder if you would like Dio, the character.
I don't know.
Shit. We need to bring him
I
back.
feel like I feel like metal bands would dig this stuff, and I guess I can understand Prince because he's a pop act. But I feel like metal bands would be like, "Oh shit, I'm in a show, cool."
Yeah. Like, a lot
But
of
I get
metal band names also had to be changed, sadly. Like, you can't be like Iron Tarkus, it has to be like Tarukas, which I don't get.
well, it that way they just can avoid copyright completely.
I guess. One thing that's funny is like, on Facebook, King Crimson, like the surviving member of King Crimson, was like posting like, "Hey, what's this all about?" And then he posted this article saying like, "King Crimson is a stand in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure." Like he found his stand.
That's crazy.
It's great. He didn't really mention like whether or not he approved or not of it. He's just like, "Hey, what's this all about?" Huh?
Well, I guess
Which
it's a positive response.
it's gonna be great.
I guess anything but a negative response is a positive response.
I guess the negative response would be like, he wouldn't even post about it. He'd just like, you would just be hearing about a lawsuit.
Yeah. But yeah, like I before I even got into this series, I'm only watching it because of you.
Hmm.
I avoided it completely because I was just not interested. Maybe
Yeah.
because it was so mainstream and as part of that elitism
Now
fan
you
base.
now you love it.
Well, now I just want to see. I want to see like, hey, what's the crazy thing they're gonna do next?
Oh yeah.
Especially when it comes to those like the climaxes,
Yeah.
because like the whole Kira thing was like, oh, this is right up my alley in terms of the problems they have to face. Very much mind
Yeah.
games and shit and planning. And also, like I said, I really like the ones where they play games because they don't use stands directly, and the stakes are high.
Hmm. So like the one thing I'll say about Par 5 is when I first read the manga, the finale of Part 5 was incomprehensible to me.
Like you just didn't understand it. You're like, what?
Like a lot of people say like, "Oh, it's all how does King Crimson work? It doesn't make sense." It's not even just that. It's like everything happening at the end of Part 5. It's just like build you'll see once we get to it.
I'll see in 6 months.
Once it's out, we'll all we will all understand or we won't. I do have one diagram to explain like how
I
King
have
Crimson
seen it.
works. But that wasn't like that's not really going to help in the finale because of all fuck. Anyway, Jojo Part 5 coming soon. Check it out. Theater near you. Evangelion's coming to Netflix.
I kind of stopped watching that when we stopped watching that last year.
Oh fuck, that's been a year? I thought that was like I still think
That
that's
was
like only 3 months ago when we first started watching that together.
Yeah, I met you around this time last year.
Jesus. Time flies.
And that's when I decided, oh, I'll go to the next game days.
Yeah. I want to go to
And then I
game days
went.
again. They should make game
Um,
days forever and make it free
that's what
for
I
flights.
thought the whole time. Like when I got back, I was like, in my mind, I was still there.
Yeah. I
I
feel
had a
like I'm
game days
still
dream
there
last night.
kind of. Like it's
Sorry,
just I'm just in a snowy California.
snowy California. Um, I'm definitely staying longer next time though.
Yeah.
I'm
I want
saving
to get
up.
there
I'm gonna.
earlier and stay like one day more.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go and do the tourist shit.
I don't want to
Like
like I don't want to go to LA again though. Like
well, that's why I wanted to stay longer so I can actually have the time to do that.
yeah. Like I mean, I don't want to arrive in LA. Like it'd be cool to go to LA, but I don't want to like start there because like getting out of that airport was like it took
Oh,
like
so
an
you'll fly.
hour to get
Yeah.
out.
So you'll fly into like John Wayne in Anaheim, right?
Yeah, next year I'm gonna fly to John Wayne, and then I'm gonna come out guns blazing.
Well, looking
Oh,
back
that's not
now,
a good thing to say about an airport. I'm sorry.
looking back now, I probably should have done that because I was like, oh, it's an extra $100 to go to John Wayne, but it's like, well, yeah, it was $100 to take the fucking Uber.
Yeah, that
So
was
next time
pain.
I'm gonna put that into my calculation.
And like, cause we took the Uber in like pieces. Like I didn't really like fully comprehend it until like me, Jane, and Mick were going back to the airport, and it was just like, yeah, this trip's gonna cost $100, and it was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's weird.
But we were able to split it all, which was good. So we didn't have to
Some
like spend
somebody paid for our
$100 each.
breakfast, and I don't know who.
Hmm.
So somebody paid for my breakfast the next day, and I don't know who did that.
Somebody paid
Because
for your breakfast.
Because when we went for breakfast, it was like, oh, cash only. And I was like, oh, I wasn't prepared for this. And someone's like, oh, I got it. Just pay me back. But I don't know who that was.
Oh, wasn't it Sigma?
No.
I thought it was him.
It was someone sitting beside him. I have a photo of everyone at the table, so maybe if I look at the photo, I can identify them.
Post the photo in the game days chat and ask like, "Hey, which
Hey,
one of you guys
who's
asked for my money? I'll give it to you. I'll send you
yeah.
our Monopoly money through the mail. I'll send you a toonie."
They won't get it till January though.
All
I'm
right,
gonna start working full time all next month.
I'm gonna stop the recording now.
Well, hang on. Do we have any more JoJo thoughts?
Jojo's good. Check it out. I love part 4. I love everyone. I want
Uh,
Jotaro.
oh, I do have a point I want to make.
Yes.
In the opening, in the final opening,
Hmm.
it has like that effect where it's like, almost like snapshot
Yeah.
photos of like them moving, but then like Josuke does like this Vogue stance, and I was like, that is not representative of his character at all.
You think that, but throughout this entire series, everyone has been voguing.
I felt like before I even got into the series, I thought literally everyone would be voguing all the time, but they don't do it that often.
It becomes subtle because like it only ever happens in like key scenes
Yeah.
and yeah, and there becomes a point where like a lot of the bizarre aspects of the show stop being bizarre because like once you're in it and in the context of everything happening, like it becomes more about like the drama of like, oh shit, how's he gonna get around this, rather than like, this is really silly.
Well, that's okay. So I was watching the episode, the rock paper scissors episode,
Yeah.
and I had two people on a Discord call at the time, so I was sharing screens,
Hmm.
and they had no idea. This was like episode like 20 something of part 4, and they're like, "What's going on?"
Oh yeah. Well, we see this kid really wants to beat this guy in rock paper scissors,
Yeah,
or else he'll kill
but then
himself.
but then people kept saying like, "Oh, they look like girls," and I'm like, "No, that's just a kid, man. Like, fucking pay attention to
Yeah.
what's going on here. Get with it."
Part 5 is probably
The most confusing.
the gayest part of JoJo, in a good
Why do
way.
you say that?
A lot of
Well,
everyone's very like effeminate.
what would make it in a bad way?
Uh, shit. Well, I didn't think that through. That's like something that like for 10 years I've always had in my head as like a goofy thing to say, but I've never really thought of like the implications of what that means. Is there a bad way?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well,
I guess maybe if
I guess like it's just I think the reason why I started saying that was because like a lot of people might misunderstand what I'm saying when because like gay was used so much as like this word for like this thing sucks.
yeah.
So in the good way was my way of saying no, it's actually homosexual, which is good.
I know another thing they pointed out is saying that the people were making fun of their clothing. I don't know how to defend that. I'm like, no, this is fashion forward.
Oh, it definitely is fashion forward. Like fashion artists have like taken on JoJo stuff. Like,
Oh no.
I don't know what fashion forward is. I just went with you on that. Is that
Well,
like is that style savvy?
Like, well, no, it's more like when you see things on like catwalks. Like
Yeah.
no one would actually wear that, but someone pointed out to me, no, that's just to show like, hey, the designer can make this, so you should hire them because they're that good. They
Yeah.
can make something ridiculous.
Well, it's more of just the visuals of like how appealing it looks rather than it's like form over function. Nobody would wear it unless you want to be like
Yeah.
super cool looking.
Well,
If you want to look like the raddest person in the world, you
it's
dress like a JoJo
extreme
character.
peacocking.
Exactly. It's Do you know what ballroom culture is?
No, tell me.
Uh, okay, so there's this movie called Paris is Burning. Check it out. It's on Netflix. And then you will learn everything about why everybody in JoJo is the way they are.
Oh no.
It will explain everything. Like, there's all these missing pieces here. That's like I don't see how this connects to that. Once you see that movie, it's all gonna make sense, and you're gonna be like, oh.
Do you think if you watch it backwards, you'll understand Crimson King better?
No, that's King Crimson doesn't make things go backwards. It erases time.
But that's why you should watch it backwards, because if you're watching it backwards, it's erasing all the things that happened. You're erasing time within itself.
No, because like once something is erased, it is gone. You can't then rewind back to the thing that was gone, because once he erases it, he doesn't skip it, he erases it.
Oh, so it's kind of like the hand, but with time
Yes.
instead of physical matter.
It's like Vanilla Ice. He Vanilla Ices time.
What did Vanilla Ice do?
Uh,
Oh, he was the orb, wasn't he?
yeah, like he eats himself, and then whatever his orb touches is deleted. Similar to like Okuyasu's The Hand. By the way, an underrepresented part of the Jojo Part 4 soundtrack that's like really cool. Okuyasu's theme is called The Hand.
Yeah.
Listen to it. The intro is so cool to that like OST. You know what? That should be the theme song for this episode. Just like intro with that theme when you put this all together on Monday. Sean, when you edit this on Monday, put in the Okuyasu's The Hand.
And it's just going to be this song I heard on the Blackpink album.
Well, don't use like the actual song "The Hand." I mean like the one from Jojo. All right, I think I'm Jojo'd out.
All right, I don't think I have anything left either.
So
Oh no, at one point, Okuyasu's dad.
Yeah.
I thought like the food would like heal him. He's like eating it, and then no, it just made him feel better.
Yeah, that was funny.
I was like, ah.
I like how a stray cat is a stray cat, and his name is Stray Cat.
I didn't care much for that plant cat. I thought he was a bad guy.
He was.
Because he was a bad guy. But
was he really bad, or was he just a confused animal inside a man's cat man stomach?
I don't know.
I liked when they did the toenail thing.
When he's cutting his nails? Oh, like when he's like, what are these things?
When he shot the bubble at the toenail and like flip broke it off.
Oh, that looks so painful.
Yeah. Also,
like,
that's one reason why you kind of have to watch the Blu-ray versions of JoJo, because like the TV versions always like censor those parts and like put on like the DBZ like black paint blotches over it.
No, okay, so in the version I saw of that, you actually get to see like the blood and shit.
Yeah.
But there's some parts where like when Kira has like a hand cut off, the cut part would be like blacked out, and I thought, well, maybe that was a stylistic choice that the author did.
No, it was because of the censorship. Same reason why in the TV version, Jotaro's face is always blacked out when he starts smoking.
I haven't
censor
had that yet.
stuff.
I've never been censored on that.
Yeah.
Just on certain blood parts, but I always thought that was a stylistic choice, because a lot of other times you see everything that happens.
Yeah, it's just like inconsistencies.
I think it was Kira. He stabbed a bug or something,
Mm-hmm.
And that was
finger.
blacked out. No, that wasn't it.
You said Kira.
So somebody stabbed a bug, I think.
I do kind of remember something like that.
And he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna cut this open." Or no, it was some other villain. He did that, and they blacked that stabbing out.
I think it was Paperman who did that.
I don't know about that. I think it was Sooner.
Maybe. Was it Rock and Roll Asshole?
I don't remember.
Okay, so this week's assignment: write yourself into the town of Morio. How would you kill Josuke and his friends using your stand?
The one I made up, or
yes,
Kira's?
The one you made up.
Why would you shoot them?
You have to kill. Shoot.
Because that is my stand. I never miss.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, do that. Uh,
Like as long as I can see it, I can hit it.
how will you beat the baby though?
Well, they put baby powder on them so I can see it.
Uh, all right.
All right.
I guess that works.
So
Okay.
yeah, what was your stand?
I can save states in real life.
Oh, so you would just try it again and again.
Yeah, basically. I would
Yours is pretty much the new Killer Queen.
That's what that other guy was trying to say, and like I was trying to cut him off because like don't bring up a spoiler. Jesus fuck, what's wrong with you? But like it's not because he can't control. Like he's not aware of when time gets loaded back up again. I am. I got an advantage over this bitch. Also, his stand isn't really like. It actually isn't really time travel. He doesn't travel through time. He turns somebody else into a time traveling landmine. So it's
which
very
I think
like
is radical.
it's a very trap based stand. Like you have to fall for the trap, and like you have to like activate it. Like it has to be self activated or else it doesn't work. Whereas I'm my stand, I'd have control over it. But
I
also,
still can't.
my stand doesn't blow anybody up.
I told you about how in Stardust I loved how Jotaro like caught the bullet while he's still pretending to be dead.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Like that was like the coolest part in the whole fight. But that moment was spread out throughout like when this son is like watching Rohan from around the corner. Like that whole repeating day was that kitchen bullet moment over and over again, and I was
Yeah.
like, yes, 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 yes.
I love that whole part. Like my favorite part is when like Rohan's just like reading the thing, and then like he's like, "All right, next page," and then the music just stops, and it's like, and then Rohan died, and then he's like, "What the fuck?" That whole like part, like it's so good. I love how they do that when
Fuck.
in the anime.
It's the best. I love it. Like that was the show for me.
Yeah. Also, like I somehow remember like there was more bites the dust segments, but like I guess like it's only just the 3 times he goes back.
Yeah.
One person didn't really understand bites the dust, but I think like the thing is the reason why like the thing you do you can't change the thing you do. It's because like that is what bites the dust does. It's not a time again, it's not a time travel stand. It's he's not traveling back in time. He's turning somebody into a landmine. And once the bomb explodes, it's exploded. It's like witches, hexes, and stuff. Check it out. Yeah.
All right.
Alright. I'm starting to get tired and my voice is dying.
I think that's it.
This episode, we talked about a lot of shit. And then we got distracted, talked about other shit that had nothing to do with JoJo. And then went back to JoJo.
Yeah. So next up is Beck.
Well, actually, I think Beck would come before this episode, wouldn't it?
You know what? I would be surprised because I haven't touched editing episode 1 in a couple months.
Okay, so whatever comes next is left to the future.
I just
The
know
heritage of the future.
At some point, we're gonna do Beck and then Paranoia Agent.
We're gonna do Beck, and then we're gonna follow it up with the sequel Back. Baki.
No.
Beck Baki.
Wouldn't it be? I don't know.
Beck to Baki. Like back to back. Eh? Eh?
Oh
Eh?
God. gosh. Wasn't there a stand that was like Boys to Men, but they changed
Yes.
the name a little bit?
Boy to Man. That was the little kid who played rock paper scissors.
Oh, that was it.
And
I'm
you see,
interested
like,
into seeing.
this is why that stand makes sense, because he's a boy, and he's issuing a challenge to a man.
Whoa!
There you go.
I wonder if we should watch the spin-off then.
I don't think the spin-off's even all the way out yet.
I'll look it up real quick.
It's still only a few OVA episodes in. Because I remember trying to, like, you know what, I'll watch the OVA, and it's like, well, to buy time till part 5, but it's like, oh, it's not done yet.
It doesn't say. I don't. Don't go to the fan wiki when you want to look up shit. You'll never find it.
Fan wiki, fake wiki.
You get on real Wikipedia.
I'm in a very Star Wars mood. I want to watch all the Star Wars movies again.
The OVA is over.
Oh, it's done? The OVA is OVA.
It looks
It's
like
OVA. Huh?
It's only 2 episodes.
It's really only 2 episodes?
It doesn't look like they're gonna do any more.
Okay. Well, that's the end of this episode. Get ready for more Thus Spake Kishibe Rohan talk next, whenever we make it.
I'm probably gonna watch it tonight.
Oh shit. I'll watch it eventually. I haven't seen it yet, so I hate it, but I haven't seen it, so I might like it actually. I can be changed. I can be saved.
Heaven's Door.
Time has not been time. It will not wait. Guess the movie.
The World.
Final Fantasy VIII.